Imagine that you have gone through the phase of understanding the client needs and doing some preliminary research to know the feasibility of a project. And now you're about to go now to the project planning phase, and you discover that there's a major constraint that might lead to the termination of a project. What do you do about that? So in this video, we're going to talk exactly about that on a project that we have on hand, which is the digitalization of a traveling agency. But before we get there, let us first of all be on the same page. What is the project all about? In this series of episodes, we will integrate essential systems into a custom-built online platform that we are going to do for a travel agency, with the goal of significantly improving productivity and profitability. This platform will allow customers and prospects to book flight tickets, hotels, furnished apartments, car rentals, and tourist routes. Here are the key tools that we will be integrating with the app ZoCRM to fully automate and orchestrate tasks related to marketing and customer billing. WhatsApp API to automate communications with customers as part of the processing of reservations. Connection to the main social media networks to enable a greater number of customers and prospects to access the agency services directly from the networks. Conversational chatbot based on ChatGPT to respond to customer questions at any time of the day and even trigger certain operations at the request of customers. Artificial intelligence capable of making suggestions for reservations to customers. Now that we're on the same page, let us look at the problem. In the interface that shows the list of flight tickets available at the particular interval that the client has chosen, each list has a logo before having a name. And also, in every ticket that shows on that list, there are conditions of the flight. But then, the API that we choose to use in order to bring in this information for the client to make his choice is called Amadeus. Now, when we went out through the documentation of Amadeus in order to know how to bring out all this information that will display according to the mockup that we show the client, we discover one thing. The API that we're using is not giving the condition of the flight. The only condition that it gives is about the bags that you can carry individually, which every person can carry individually into the plane. And that was a very big problem because the client specifically said that the conditions are extremely important for the client that is making a booking or that is booking for a flight ticket. That's the first problem. The second problem is that the same API Amadeus that we're using do not provide the logo of the company, because on a mockup that we present to the client, what makes the client to actually appreciate, one of the elements that make the client to appreciate the display of the search result is the fact that each flight company has a logo before the name on the interface. But then on the API we're using, on our test that we're performing, it didn't return the logo. So those are the two major problems that we had. We are software engineers, so we figured that there can be a way around all these problems. So how do we handle it? Now, for the first problem of the logo of flight company not displaying, we imagine this solution. When we make a request for the availability of flight tickets through the API of Amadeus, it doesn't really send back the literal names of the flight companies. It sends instead the IATA code. The IATA code is the code used to identify all flight companies around the world. So, in the database of our own system, we will dedicate some columns where we will catalog all the IATA codes and associate them with the flight company names and the logo, in a way that when a query is made for the flight tickets, our system will pick the IATA code and then pick the corresponding flight names and the logo from our own database, then display it on the search results. For the second problem of us not being able to get the conditions of the flight tickets, we got in touch with the support team of the API for Amadeus, hoping they point us to the right direction as to how to get the conditions of the flight ticket. Now that we've imagined these different solutions, we're going to now implement it on a live project. So don't miss the next episode to see if everything went as planned.